Yes, indeed. If you do surrender earlier, then of course your payout is going to be that much lower, and that's as per the norms. But by and large, like my colleague is pointing out, as far as surrender value is concerned, the existing norms have been retained. Let's understand the impact of this on the industry. Tarun Chugh is Managing Director and CEO at Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance, and it's great to have you with us this evening, Mr. Chugh. There was a pushback, like my colleague suggested, from the industry when it came to the possibility of a higher surrender value. The fear was that higher surrender value would lead to more premature exits by long-term policy holders. But now this does come as a relief to the sector, doesn't it?
See, it was not just the fact that premature surrenders happening. There could have been a possibility of mis-selling as well. There could have been a significant impact on the IRRs that we are able to provide to customers. What happens is that today, when we have certainty that people will remain for long term, we are able to do an ALM match. And we are able to invest a significant percentage of the corpus, mostly around 20 to 25% in endowment plans, into equities. As a result, we are able to give a higher return to the customer. If we had uncertainty on even after the first premium coming, if somebody would take the money out, we would largely have to put a significant portion, currently that is saved for equities, into overnight cash. Overnight cash, as you know, doesn't give between more than 3 to 4%. So there would have been a significant IRR dip. I think when this is the first time the calculations were ever done on these scenarios, we did it together, and IRDA took cognizance of that. And overall, I think it's a good turnout for both customers and for life insurers.
About these calculations that were conducted with the regulator, now that the IRDA has maintained the norms by and large, how much of a positive is this for the sector, your company, from a profitability, from a growth standpoint?
I think for one, we're back on track on the growth. The sector has been growing well, and this will continue. If the change had happened with the threshold value, the way it was earlier discussed in the draft, this would have had a significant impact. So for one, the growth will remain unchanged. Then let me just say it'll be positive and it'll remain in that direction. Else, if this threshold value had come in place, it would have impacted everybody, us, customers, and of course the growth of the sector as well. So that is directionally the same. It's not that we'll suddenly start growing significantly. That's not what is going to happen. But I'd say that we are on a steady and a good clip already in terms of growth. So I think that should be fine.
From policyholders' standpoint as well, how do you think the new norms, if they can be called new norms, because little change has been affected, but considering what is on the table by way of guaranteed surrender value for them, both for shorter and longer tenures, how do you think this is going to work out in terms of what they look for in insurance products today? Are the sector possibilities as large as they would find elsewhere in terms of what an insurance product gets for them today?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Vikram. I think that's what we've been providing. What this will additionally do, as there's another element to the surrender values that have come forward in these guidelines, that IRDA has nudged all insurers to come up with plans which are high on liquidity. So while they've been prescriptive on the long-term plans, they have nudged the insurance sector, and you'll find that come in quite soon, where there will be a separate segment of products that we will come up with, where surrender value can be fairly high in the short term as well. Of course, like I said, there, while the aspect of liquidity will be maintained, because usually, given the way surrender values are structured, life insurance products have less liquidity. But the new segment, which they have also introduced in this set of guidelines, will help get that aspect of liquidity. And so what happens is that your usual life insurance product, which is to offer, will only get enhanced. In addition, there will be a new segment coming up with a liquidity option as well. And you'll see a slew of products coming in the next quarter or the quarter after in the insurance sector. So it is, I think, welcome in every way.
Anyway, Mr. Chugh, we appreciate your perspective on this. Thank you so much for joining us on India Tonight. This is what the insurance sector was asking for, and it seems the regulator has heard them out. And now we have those surrender value at the kind of levels which were already in existence, not higher like was expected by some quarters. Now it has been retained.